Hello, Jeremy Chambers, Independence Acres Homestead. Man, what a difference like 10 hours makes, 12 hours. About 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, man, it was crazy out here. But I'm thankful that the sun is shining, heading out to the greenhouse, and we're going to put some tomato seeds in some soil. So there is still ice on the top of the greenhouse up there. It's only about 34, 35 degrees outside, but because the sun is shining, it is right around 60 degrees in here. So what a better time to come out this morning and get some tomato seeds in the soil. We've talked about this a little bit before, but we use the paper towel germination method. Basically, it's just a matter of putting down a paper towel, wetting it with a spray bottle, setting your seeds on it, folding it up, and then setting it in a bag. And then I put it on some seed starting heat mats. And here we are 4 days, and we've already got some roots beginning to pop out of some of these seeds. So pretty exciting to be able to get out here today, enjoy the warmth of the greenhouse, and get these guys in some soil. So before I get too much into exactly the types and varieties of tomato plants that we're going to grow and getting those potted up, I just want to show you guys the raised beds that we put in the greenhouse this last week. So this is the first one we put in. They are a 9-foot by 3-foot deep bed. We've got a mixture of topsoil. Tried to get all organic materials in here, organic certified, just to clarify, because everything's organic technically. Anyway, so we've got a mixture of topsoil, peat moss, some potting soil, a raised bed soil on this side, and then on the side over here, peat moss, topsoil, some potting soil, and then about 10 gallons of rabbit manure. And obviously there's a little bit of hay and wood chips and stuff like that mixed in over there. The process to get the manure ready to go in the bed is, because I didn't want the smell in here, and even keeping it wet and with the heat, it doesn't smell at all. So I'm really happy with this. But the process is we'll get the manure harvested out from underneath of the rabbit hutches, lay it out on tarps in the sun for a day, and then it goes straight into the bed. We just want to make sure it's dry, fully dry. Remove as much of the hay or straw out of it as possible before we put it in the beds. But anyway, so once we got these beds done, the first thing I did was we sowed some radishes on this side over here, and some leaf lettuce mix right here. And then just a couple days ago, Josh and I put some carrots on this area. So we're trying to get some early cold crop vegetables in here. And yeah, it's getting a little warmer in the greenhouse than I expected to start here. So we're working on making sure we get the windows and the doors open in the morning to get some ventilation so it doesn't get too warm, but it's been getting up to about 80 in here. But we're still getting those cold temperatures at night. So I'm just really excited about this over here because I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but there's little green specks all over here. Those are the radishes growing. The lettuce is growing well already. Man, I can't wait. Hopefully in about 20 days, we'll be able to harvest some radishes. And in about 30 to 45 days, we'll be able to get some lettuce. And in the middle of what's going on around the world right now, this is nothing better than being able to grow your own food. So in the rabbit poo side over here, see in the corner here, I got some 2x4 wire that we put up over here, and we got it as a trellis for some sugar snap peas that we have planted. We've got 2 rows of sugar snap peas in the corner over there, and then 3 more rows of different varieties of lettuce here. Still trying to decide what's going to go on the far side of this bed. Probably looking at some cold crops, maybe some bok choy. Honestly, it all just comes down to what kind of seeds we can get. So I've decided I really need to get some chairs out here, but for now, I'm just going to squat on these bags of potting soil here. So let me just go over some of the varieties that we chose this year. And let me just, be straight blunt out front. We had some close friends that are homesteaders also moved into a new home this year. And it's a little smaller than they expected. So they had ordered a bunch of seeds to start, and they just don't have the room to start it. So because we've been blessed with the ability to have this tremendously large greenhouse, basically they just handed me all their seeds and said, here you go, start what you want. So a lot of these varieties are ones that we did not invest in. Some of them are ones that we had harvested our own seeds from last year, and we're going to reuse those seeds to get our garden going this year. So all in all, I've probably got about 200 tomato seeds here that I'm pretty sure that the germination rate is usually pretty awesome. Most of these seeds are from Baker Creek or from M.I. Gardner, just right up the road here in Port Huron. So I'm positive that we're not going to have any issues with germination on these seeds. So I'm expecting to have a large amount of plants even after we get the those other homesteading friends all of the plants that they want, and after all the plants that we have room for in the ground. It's going to be a crazy year when it comes to the garden, but I am so looking forward to it. This is going to be our second year of really getting this garden going. As I've stated in previous videos, we've been focusing so much on animals and repairs on the house, stuff of that nature, that we really haven't focused too much on a garden. But last year was a big focus for us, and we're going to do it again this year. All right, so the varieties that we're working with this year, we've got some pretty awesome seed varieties. One of the ones that was really hot last year was the Brad's Atomic Grape Tomato. One of the ones that we absolutely loved, Pink Brandywine. Love the Brandywine variety because it's so large, such a large fruit, very firm, but so flavorful. That was my favorite for making tomato sandwiches last year. One I'm really excited is similar to the Brandywine, the Pineapple Tomato. Looking forward to seeing how those grow. Purple Russian tomatoes. This is one my Shelly really wanted this year, the San Marzano, because she wants to be able to make some more tomato sauce. We've got some purple tomatillos, some ones that we got. Actually, I forgot. We got some of these from Seeds for Generations, another great heirloom seed company that family ran and owned. This is the Jujube grape tomato. And then yellow ground cherries. It's a variety of tomatoes, kind of like a tomatillo, but sweeter. And then the purple bumblebee cherry tomato. And those guys, man, they've already got roots growing. So we need to get all these guys in some soil now so that we can actually see the plants. And all these varieties are ones, like I said, they're all heirloom varieties. So we're really excited to be able to grow these. Yeah, it's just going to be... It's going to be another crazy tomato year here at Independence Acres. So as you're getting your seeds started, there's a couple things that are very important. Number one, make sure to label every seed pot or seed tray if you're going to have individual seed varieties in each tray. Last thing you want is to have mystery tomatoes that you're growing or selling or giving away, and you don't know what it is. So don't forget to label your tomatoes. Number two, make sure you're starting with a good quality seed starting soil. You don't want to just use seed starting, especially if you're growing in pots, and these are going to be you're not going to be transferring over and over again. You're going to make sure you're starting with a decent seed starting soil or potting soil. You don't want to start with just a seed starting mix, because all those are usually the coconut coir that is just used to maintain moisture for germination, and they don't have any real nutrients to keep those plants growing. So because we germinate in the paper towel method, we go ahead and we are using an organic container mix in order to get all of these seeds going. This has some food and nutrients, and also the coconut coir and peat moss in order to make sure that the soil maintains moisture. Okay, so now it's a moment of truth. Like I said, 4 days, paper towel on a heating pad. Now I can already see there is a decent amount of root growing already. And I am going to have way more tomato plants than I need. Now, I'm going to use tweezers to remove these guys from the paper towel because I don't want to disturb or break any of the roots. Now, if the roots have started to actually grow into the paper towel, sometimes you can actually cut around the paper towel in order to make sure that you don't hurt the roots. Now look, there we go. Look at the roots. They're already growing on that seed. Isn't that awesome? And that's only 4 days. 4 days, guys, 4 days. And I'm just going to put 2 of these in each pot. I've got 9 pots here, and I've got well over 20 seeds. So I'm going to put 2 in each pot just to make sure that we get the amount of plants that we want. Sorry for the shakiness of the video there. I've got my tripod up on the table, so things get a little crazy. All right, now I'm just going to throw a little bit of soil on top. We want to put just about 1/4 inch on top. Now, I'm not going to pack it down because these guys have already started to show growth. And the last thing I want to do is destroy any of that root structure. Now we do use trays and seed cups or seed pots with open bottoms. The reason being is because we want to be able to bottom water all of these so that we're not disturbing the top of the soil every time that we water the plants, because that can be detrimental to the root structure of the plants, and it also is going to force the roots to go down deeper rather than settling across the surface of the soil. Now, I mean, that's not a hard, fast rule or anything. It's just the way we like to do it. All right, so I got 12 full pots of the bumblebee, so a total of 24 plants here. Now, even though we did write on these bags with Sharpie, we're going to be able to reuse these to germinate our herbs a little later on this week. Well, we've got 2 trays fully planted up. There's one over there and one here. And these are just our grape and cherry tomatoes. We may have just a few too many plants, but that's okay. Like I said, we've got 2 homesteads, ours and another, to provide plants for this year. And then with the way things are going around here in Michigan, excited to be able to provide plants for other people within our community, whether it's our homeschool community, other homesteaders in the area, or just the neighbors in the area. So being able to do this and help out the community is going to be a pretty awesome thing. Well, that's it for now. Make sure that you mash the like button, mash the subscribe button, so that way you don't miss out on any further updates of what we've got going on here in the greenhouse. As our radishes and lettuce continue to grow, as the peas and carrots and everything start to grow here, I want to keep you guys informed about what is going on. And also, as these plants continue to grow, we'll keep you updated. And there's a lot going on here in the next couple weeks since I'm going to be at home a lot more. So thanks for watching. And as always, God bless.